There's a phrase that Christians say all the time: just trust God. You hear it when life gets hard, you hear it when plans fall apart, you hear it when someone doesn't know what to do next. But if we're honest, a lot of people say trust God without really stopping to ask what that actually means. What does it look like to trust God when things are confusing, when life doesn't make sense, when your plans fall apart? One of the most well-known verses in the Bible addresses this directly. It comes from the book of Proverbs in chapter 3. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." The first phrase, trust in the Lord. Trust means more than just believing God exists. Even people who don't follow God may say they believe in him. Trust goes deeper than that. Trust means placing your weight on something. Think about leaning against a wall. When you lean your full weight on it, you're trusting that the wall is strong enough to hold you up. Spiritually, that's what trust looks like with God. You're placing the weight of your life on him. Your future, your decisions, your direction. You're saying, "God, I believe you are strong enough to carry this." But the verse doesn't stop there. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart." This part is important because partial trust is very common. Sometimes people trust God in church, but not in their decisions. They trust God for eternity, but not for tomorrow. They trust God when things are going well, but when life gets difficult, they immediately fall back on their own plans and understanding. But the verse says, with all your heart. That means complete trust. It means trusting God not only when things are clear, but also when they're confusing. Then the verse says something that can be difficult. Lean not on your own understanding. That doesn't mean we stop thinking or stop using wisdom. The Bible encourages wisdom all throughout Proverbs. What it means is this: our understanding is limited. We see a tiny piece of the picture. God sees everything. Imagine looking at one puzzle piece on a table. From that small piece alone, you might not understand the full image. But the person who sees the whole puzzle knows exactly where that piece fits. That's what our understanding is like compared to God's. Sometimes we look at a situation and think, this doesn't make sense. This isn't how things should go. This isn't what I planned. But God sees the full picture. And trusting him means believing that his perspective is greater than ours. The next line says something powerful. In all your ways, acknowledge him. Not some ways, not just the big decisions, all your ways. That means inviting God into every area of your life. Your plans, your relationships, your direction, your future. Acknowledging God means recognizing that he is the one leading your life. It's saying, "God, I don't want to walk this path without you guiding it." Then the verse ends with a promise, "And he shall direct your paths." That doesn't mean life will always be easy. It doesn't mean every step will be comfortable. But it does mean that God is actively guiding the lives of those who trust him. Sometimes his direction comes through Scripture, sometimes through wisdom, sometimes through circumstances that slowly move us toward where we're meant to be. But the key is trust, not partial trust, complete trust. Trust that God knows where he's leading you, even when you can't see the destination yet. Because the truth is, there will be seasons in life where things don't make sense. Plans fall apart, doors close. Things go in directions you never expected. And in those moments, the question becomes, will you rely on your own understanding, or will you trust the one who sees the entire picture? That's the heart of this verse. Trusting God doesn't mean you understand everything that's happening. It means you believe the one leading you does. And when you put your life in his hands, the promise is that he will guide your path exactly where it needs to go.